Hello and welcome to our channel. In this video we will be presenting Four Seasons, a card game in which trying to deceive your opponent is a must in order to win. The theme of the game, as you may have already guessed, is based on the Four Seasons. It is a very simple card game suitable for people over 8 and with a length from 15 to 30 minutes. Let's see what Four Seasons is about. We will start by looking at the components. In this case, we only find two manuals, one in English and the other one in German, 4 season markers and 48 cards. Each color on the cards represents a different season. Green is for spring, yellow for summer, red for autumn and blue for winter. On the corners of the cards we can see a number that represents their value. If we flip the cards, we notice that the color is the same for all of them, but we can still see their value. This will certainly help us work out our strategies throughout the game. Without further ado, let's see how to play Four Seasons. The first thing we have to do is to divide the play area into 3 different sections. In the center of the table, we will create the season area. Here, we will place the 4 season markers, leaving enough room for a column of cards next to each marker. Cards placed in this area will determine the number of victory points for each season at the end of the game. Players also have what is known as their area of influence right in front of them, so there will be one at the bottom of the season area and another one at the top. The cards that each player places here will determine the number of influence points they will have at the end of the game. We will start the game by sorting all the cards into 3 piles, one for each value. The first one for value 1. The second one with cards of value 2. And finish with the ones of value 3. Then, take the value 1 pile and distribute the cards evenly into 8 new stacks. We will do the same with the value 2 and value 3 piles, placing them evenly on top of the previous stacks. These will result in 8 new decks of cards ordered by value from lowest to highest. Now, remove 2 of these stacks from the game and set them aside. Of the remaining 6 piles, each player takes 3 and place them one on top of another without mixing them. These will constitute their personal deck. Finally, players draw 8 cards to form their hand and randomly choose a starting player. Now you are ready to begin playing. Four Seasons is played over a total of 9 rounds. Each round, players will take 1 turn. First, the starting player selects 2 cards from their hand and gives them to their opponent. The opponent chooses 1 card to place in their area of influence and the other one in the season area. But when placing the cards, their color must be taken into account. Players are not allowed to put both cards in the season area or in their area of influence. Each card must be placed in a different area. The second player repeats the process of selecting 2 cards for their opponent to play. The opponent places them in the play area. And once both turns are over, the 2 players draw cards from their personal decks. This is how the game will be played until players run out of cards. Then the scoring phase begins. Let's imagine that we have the following configuration at the end of the game. Column by column, each player will add their influence points. In this case, there are 9 victory points in the spring season area. Player 1 has 4 victory points, and player 2 only 3 points. Therefore, player 1 receives 9 victory points and player 2 nothing. Now let's move to the summer season area. In this case, there are 10 victory points. Player 1 has 3 victory points, whereas player 2 has 7, so player 2 gets 10 points. Let's have a look at the autumn column. There are 6 victory points. Player 1 has 7 influence points, while player 2 has 4. These 6 points go to player 1. Now, let's have a look at the last season column. Here we have 7 victory points. Player 1 has 1 point, and player 2 has 5. So, player 2 gets 7 points and becomes the winner of the game. In brief, Four Seasons is an entertaining card game whose goal is to try to mislead your opponent while you hide your own strategy so that you end up with the highest number of victory points. The game has rules that are really easy to learn. It is also simple to prepare, and its format allows you to play it anywhere. We should mention that this is not one of those games to play several times in a row, as it can be a little bit monotonous. The art is also quite repetitive, but in general we are convinced by its simplicity, which allows you to entertain yourself while you kill time. We hope to read your comments about this game, and remember, if you want to know more about board games or watch our new videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will continue playing in the next video.